What's up, y'all? Early in the AM. 658 2 and 8. Listen. What's up? What's up, y'all? It's a trip, and I wasn't gonna say this, but sometimes these squirrels come tell me something, and you know what some people are saying, and I'm sort of expecting people to say some certain things, you see, because it's like their mind, they have children minds or something. They're not really thinking. They can think with me if they want to, you see, and get out of the wholeness of their gathered knowledge. You see, sometimes when you're talking or you're showing them something in the sky, what they have learned down below, it don't fit inside of the quarters of what they gathered in knowledge, or what they call wisdom, by reading outside of themselves. You see, anytime you talk about some things and you draw or you write things, you see, and you can go back and see it again, and then regurgitate, and mimic what you saw, and then write it, or speak on it. You see, you will have many people doing the same thing. You see, they'll find out where you got the information from, and then they'll do the same thing, you see. And you can articulate it well, and as long as you can articulate it well, however it may be. But my thing is, just imagine water. And you see how water, the flow of water, like let's just say some still water, right? But on top of that water, you have this little cloud, you see, this little cloud or mist or something going across the waters, right? And what if you one day just take a photo and just look at the mist that you captured, just flowing across the waters? What if you just try to see that? And then think in your head that the body of water is alive, and the film on top of the water, or the cloud that's on top of the water, when I say film, and the cloud is on top of the water, it's a part of that water. You see, it's alive too. It's the spirit of the water that's floating on top of the water. It's the spirit. Just think of it like that. Just think of it being similar to that. You see. Can you imagine something? Can you imagine being in a desert? You see, and there's no rain, no water. It's just a desert. But when you go inside where the inhabitants at, you see clouds. And then just think of yourself being like 70% water. You see? 70% water. You see? And above you is a spirit. Wouldn't it be something that you don't leave, or water don't leave its base? I mean, clouds and mist don't leave its base. They stay kind of close. You see, even if it separates, it just stays kind of close to where the water is. What I'm saying is, when I'm taking pictures of these clouds, and I'm telling you that these clouds are living, they're alive, regardless of the science and all that other type of stuff, get that out your head. Just use what you was given to see with, you see, and just record something. Just stand still and just record, a cloud that that caught your eye, and just record it and just look at it, you see, or take a snapshot of it, and then rotate the photo. You see, rotate the photo and just see if you can see something inside of there, you see. Well, if you do, that's what I'm showing you. It's, it's my art, or it's my giving, you see. It's, sometimes people will say, he's not ready because he still think that that's Jesus. I don't think that it's Jesus. Tell me what Jesus is to you first. Tell me what Jesus is to you first, and then I can elaborate on what I'm talking about. You see, because even though I'm showing you these things, you see, the way I'm showing you is me being up there, looking down at me with the camera filming above me, you see. And I know that's hard for people to grab. You see, it was hard for me to grab when I first saw myself doing it. You see, you see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know how I do it. I just, my mind just goes up. You see, my mind just goes up, and I just follow the pattern or the circle that's around my house. It's a circle. It's just, they cover like that, a circle. And inside of the circle, you see, you have all these little images just going around like this. You see, it's just going around. You see, and it's just remarkable to me. See, your mind may not be as patient as my mind. You see, you may not, you can't capture that. You see, you don't have that inquisitive mind like a child would have. You see, in order to see these things, your mind have to be inquisitive, or you have to have a eccentric personality. You see, or character a little bit, you see, in order to see these things, Because what I'm trying to say to you is, the same thing that I show people in the clouds is the same thing that you can see in some of these trees. It's the same thing if you know how to see. You see, if you know how to see, or if you know what you looking for, you see. But these clouds, they're, to me, it's not about you. It's for me. It's letting something know that I'm aware. You see, you don't have to, like, you can laugh and joke all you want to. I was trying to get more people, but there's not enough. Well, I don't know if they do laugh and joke. I guess they're not telling me about it. What I do hear is that they saying that I'm thinking that it's Jesus. You know, whatever you felt like you read in the Bible, that Jesus is coming with the clouds, in the cloud of glory, you see. And all eyes will see. That has already happened, you see. All eyes do see, you see. You have to take all the romantic stuff out and all the, you know, the theatrics out of it, and live in real life and see how some of those stories would pan out in real life. You see, you know, but you have to know that you're inside of real life. You know, you can't be around here talking about what's an illusion and all these other type things. You see, because you're up there with me in the clouds, you see, and you say the clouds are phony. And you say, you know, they're not real and all these other type things, see. Listen, when that water is still, you see, and it's giving off its mist, you see, if you can record the mist, you can see, you'll be able to see what I'm seeing above your head, you see. Now, some people may say those are hypotheticals, you see, or could be illusions, however it may be, because they don't stay, and you will never find another image the same. So you can't regurgitate it. You can't regurgitate it. All these things that I'm seeing above my head and I'm recording it, they come with stories. They come with books, you see. But you have to learn how to read. You have to have a particular mind to do that, you see. And it's easy to do, you know. I remember an individual came to my house one day, and I was trying to show her something on the television, you know, about, you know, on my television I had YouTube playing, and I was showing her the clouds. She kept saying she couldn't see nothing, you know, and she was looking at me, and I'm telling her to look at the clouds, and she was looking at me. She was looking at me like, this motherfucker crazy. You know, he's out of his mind. He really think he's seeing something, right? So I'm pausing the video, and I kept asking, do you see what I'm saying? You see it? She said, no. You know, and you know how people be looking at you when they think you crazy? They look at you like, you know, kind of weird like. That's how she was looking at me. And so I paused the video, and I said, do you know where your eyes are located on your face? And she said, what? I said, do you know where your eyes are on your face? Can you see where my eyes are on my face? Can you see my nose? Can you see where my mouth is? Do you see the shape of my face? You see? She said, yeah. I said, now listen, I want you to take that image that you're seeing of me and of yourself. I want you to place that image right here in this area of what you say don't exist. And she did exactly what I told her to do. And when she saw the image, she jumped back and said, how come I didn't see that at first? I said, answer that. I said, I can't answer that. I mean, I know why internally, but I just can't articulate it. You, take that image and hold on to it for a minute and answer it yourself why you can't see it. The same way, the same reason why you can't see that cloud is the same way the things that I say, you can't understand it. And you have no idea what I'm saying. You see, it has nothing to do with me. It has something to do with you. You see, just get out of where you're at in this world. Leave the world so you can see things beyond your worldly comprehensions. You see, now I'm not saying leave the world when it comes to your development and the things that you need out here. I'm not talking about leaving it like that. I'm talking about when it comes to like ultimate realities and things. You have to leave all this stuff out here, you see, and use your internal eye, couple it with the two that's in your socket. You know what I'm saying? You need a little help with the two, you see. And you'll be able to see. And when you be able to see this, you'll be able to see these rings that people carry around them all the time. And you will see that they're half made, or they got like these little gaps in them where something in the spirit or some of these clouds, you see, dissolve them and like open them up so things can flow inside of their temple. You see, once you get what's above inside of your temple, it will seal you. You see, I don't care what man created. Man can mimic clouds. They can do all these type things, but they can't mimic what they can't see. You see, even though you will create these clouds, the clouds are still going to form something that you recognize down below all the time. It's always going to reflect that. It will reflect while you're traveling down the road, you see, and something is on your mind. And you just happen to look up in the sky and you see a cloud. And that cloud captured what was on your mind. You see, imagine you thinking about that, not in fear, just thinking, how is that possible? You see, just, it's a thought in your head. You know, just think about how possible it was for something that's inside of you. You saw it above your head in a fluffy. You see what I'm saying? You saw it. Oftentimes they'll be still, so still to where it just make you look at it. And then as you're looking, it'll just start changing into another image, into another image, into another image, into another image, you see? But as it's changing into another image, what if you was recording that? It's not just changing into another image. It's going through chapters as it's floating by. You see? Now, where's this stuff coming from? These things are connected to the ether. You see, you have to know that you're water. You see, what do spirits look like when they lift up out the body? Do they look like clouds? Do they look like semen? You see? Why is that so hard to connect? How come you can't connect yourself to what man did not create? Why is it so hard? Why is it that you have to be studious or be scholarly in what you read about it? But when you see it, it just shocks you. It does things to you. You're fearful of it. But you have a PhD in those things, but you haven't saw it, you haven't experienced it, and you haven't brought it in. Just imagine that. This is why I say, if something that's written in the book that said Jesus is going to come through the clouds, you see, and that's what you're waiting on, and if it does, you'll be so afraid. With all the love that you saying that you had, all the power that you said that it has, all these things, you will be totally afraid. But when you was down here, you was boasting about how much you love it. You see, how much you love it. Can you love in fear? How much love can you produce while you're in fear? You see, imagine something telling you to fear it, you see, and its love is the commandments. You see, it calls for commandments. You see, love does. You see, why is it that folks can't or don't know how to utilize that spirit that's inside of them? And how come they can't see multiples above their head? You see, those that were injured, those who were afflicted, you see, those who died in their natural state, you see, with nothing, out of order, they're meaning their body. You see, just imagine that. Just imagine that you had the power to see these things and you showing the people, and the first thing they can say is, you see, he's still way down below because he's talking about Jesus. You see, I love these people. I love these people that talk like that. Can you imagine? I love these people that talk like that. You see? And I love when they say Jesus too. You see? They saying Jesus as if it don't exist. If Jesus don't exist, how is it on your tongue? If Jesus don't exist, why is it on your tongue? Why is it when you saying certain things, however it may be, you got to bring up Jesus? You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out, why is it that when certain things happen, you see, you bring up Jesus, but you bring up Jesus down below. Imagine you bringing up Jesus down below and something is attracted to the clouds above. You see, can you imagine how you're weaving this body together as you're talking negative about it? Can you understand that? What type of entity do you think is amongst you, or that will be amongst you, that you say you love? That's what I'm talking about. Imagine that power that's right in front of you, you see, that has connection to the mist that's hovering above the waters down below. You know, that's connected to the mist that's hovering above your head, that's attracted to the 70% that's inside of you. Can you imagine that body? You see, you can't run, you can't hide. It's right there in front of you. Hey, listen, I'm just an observer.